So I suffered with anxiety and panic disorder for over 20 years. I was so vested in this was something I needed to cure through medicine or changing my diet or adding supplements. Because I had so many physical symptoms. My anxiety was mostly physical symptoms, the palpitations, the shortness of breath, the dizziness, I'm going to pass out. Because it was so physical, I was so convinced it was it was so biological, and that I was only going to be cured by a medical doctor or a naturopath or a chiropractor or an acupuncturist. I did not put much credit into therapy. And I tried some traditional therapies and they didn't have much of an effect. And so where I was wrong was that there was so much reprogramming of my biology and my brain that could happen, and that did happen through using Kale's techniques. And that is something I honestly didn't believe. I did not think that was what was going to make me better. And now I've realized that I have reprogrammed my brain to it doesn't really know how to have a panic attack. You physically really almost can't have a panic attack. Like, I've been in situations where I'm like, this is full blown panic attack. I know it. And I do the breathing exercise and it doesn't escalate.
I was diagnosed with OCD. It's a version of OCD called Pure O. It's like pure obsessional OCD. It was just everywhere. It was just like hyperventilating in public was like the number one thing that I was afraid of. It turned into a complete phobia. The physical symptoms, I had really strong physical symptoms.
The only place I would sometimes find escape from my anxiety would be late at night when I could open up a bottle of wine. And that's where I would find relief for 2 hours, 3 hours if I wanted to drag it out. And that's drinking at least a bottle of wine, sometimes a bottle and a half, at the worst 2, just to get myself to feel no anxiety and to be able to finally fall asleep. Because if I didn't do that, I would lay in bed all night with just thoughts running through my head of, oh, I'm never going to sleep tonight. I've got a big day tomorrow. It's going to make my anxiety worse. Or just any general fear about being alone in the house with my girls, if somebody were to break in. And also physical sensations at night. I would lay in bed, with this horrible feeling of anxiety running through my body. And it felt like I had been plugged into an electrical outlet. Whenever I'd kind of start to fall asleep, like this electricity would run through me. And the only way I could not feel those sensations and get some sleep would be to drink excessively. And of course, that would impact my next day even more so. And I'm able to sleep at night. This is a huge one. I will never say that I don't drink at all anymore, because I still do. But it's so different than what it used to be. It was a crutch to get me to sleep. And now it's something that I enjoy doing. I never take it to this place where I am, drowning myself in booze to fall asleep. And I actually am falling asleep relatively easily. In fact, I often will be doing the meditation exercises at night that Kale has given me, and I don't even get through them. I'm just, before I know it, I'm knocked out and I'm sleeping. And maybe sometimes I still wake up in the middle of the night for a little bit, but I'm able to just kind of do the breathing exercise and the thought exercise. And before I know it, I am back to sleep. And if I have some anxiety, it's not from the place of the panic attack and the palpitations or the crazy energy running through my body. It's more just something on my mind I'm thinking about. Like, I could feel like a normal person having normal person worries, as opposed to somebody who is just like, on the brink of losing their mind.
My anxiety and my panic, it's ratcheting up to an all-time high. It's affecting every part of my life. I'm not eating. I lost probably about 17 pounds. I'm not sleeping at all. I'm stuck in the fight or flight response like 24/7. It was a nightmare. How I was even getting up to take my daughter to school is, I don't even know. Just to be able to feel like you have control, especially for me, I was sleeping hardly at all. And then now I'm sleeping like 8 hours a night, great. I'm sleeping so good. I got my appetite back.
Getting through the grocery store with them, I would be hunched over the cart like this, holding on, bare knuckling, trying to keep them near me, trying to look at the list, feeling like the grocery store was spinning around me. I was getting dizzy. I could hardly it was so painful and so difficult to get through, and I have to stop, try to breathe, yell at my children to stay close. It was awful, absolutely awful, just bare knuckling it through. And somehow, some way, we'd get to the checkout stand where it almost became a full meltdown for me, where it was like this was the slowest process in the world, and all I was doing was standing still with my kids. And I just wanted to, there were times where I just wanted to drop all the groceries and just run out of the store with them. Other areas I would have panic attacks would be at work during meetings, being interviewed, or talking to a coworker. Maybe I did come off as being okay on the outside, but through every single interaction with another adult in a meeting, or even when I started dating, I was constantly in a state of trying to get out of that, whatever I could do. Working with Kale, I can get through any work meeting, even dates, without any anxiety or panic, when I normally would have been in the state of a panic attack pretty much 90% of a meeting or a first date or something like that, or a social interaction. I have no panic attacks around my children ever. I'm able to go to the grocery store. In fact, I went to the grocery store or a Target recently, and I realized I wasn't rushing to get out of there like I normally would be. I actually started shopping around, which is something I rarely did.
I was just terrified of having a panic attack in front of it, and it even was in front of family, friends. It was just everywhere. Like hyperventilating in public was like the number one thing that I was afraid of. It turned into a complete phobia, 100%. I would just white knuckle it through almost every like public situation. Going to like mall, a mall I've been going, and no issues.
One of my biggest triggers was driving. I could get around my neighborhood a few miles here and there. It was never comfortable. It was always difficult. I always felt dizzy. I always felt like I was going to pass out. I had not driven on the freeway for over 7 years, maybe 10 years. I honestly don't even remember. The idea of even getting on the on-ramp brought me great anxiety. I felt so powerless. It was going to be something that I knew was going to hold me back from many experiences, and especially my children from many experiences. I recently started driving on the freeway, and I never thought I would ever drive on the freeway again. And when I did, for the first time a couple weeks ago, I cried because I couldn't believe it. It had been over 7 years that I'd done that. And that was my biggest goal, was to be able to get on the freeway. And I cried, and I cried so much I couldn't even see the road anymore, but I didn't really care. But I did it. And so that was great. And it's amazing that I can do that, because now I know that I can take my girls on all of the journeys that I had hoped to. Sorry. And I don't even realize when I get to work that I drove there. My thoughts about anxiety are just that they're not even, it doesn't consume me.
I stopped driving on the freeway because I had a panic attack on the freeway. So I'm back on the freeway. I'm not sure if it was week 3 or week 4, but I got on the freeway, and I did not think that was ever going to happen again. So that was huge. So Kale is amazing. Everything is so, I don't know, it's just so approachable. It's so doable. He cares so much. He will not stop until you are well, until you are happy, until you're like so happy and so calm and so peaceful. I had lost complete hope. I thought there was no hope for me at all. I thought I was going to have to live like this the rest of my life. And now I'm really flourishing. I'm doing really well. It's completely changed my life. So thank you, Kale.
Congratulations. I want to personally thank you for even considering something like this. You want to change your life, and that is something beautiful. So in about 10 minutes a day, I will teach you how to transform your life in only 6 weeks. You'll rid yourself of panic attacks. You'll learn how to completely eliminate all of anxiety symptoms. And as a side effect, you'll become stronger, happier, and calmer. Do you have trouble sleeping? We've got you covered. Having trouble finding joy in life? We can cover that too. I know this sounds like an infomercial, but allow me to break down exactly how my group coaching works. I've set up a private Facebook group so you're not in this alone. The community in this group will be folks just like yourself, determined and eager to get better than they've ever been before. And my former students who have already been through the journey and have completely transformed their lives. It is incredibly supportive and motivating, and it continues to grow. I will give you a roadmap that will show you how to crush all of your fears, your problems, and your suffering. while accomplishing your goals. I provide this to you in easy to digest, bite-sized videos that will take you about 30 minutes a week max. The best part is you can watch them again and again and on your schedule. Work late? No problem. Do you have kids? Well, it's not going to stop you from becoming the best parent possible for them. By the time you are finished with this 6-week program, you will have all the tools to beat anxiety and more, despite your current situation. The best part of all of this, I will be right there in the group with you, answering questions, motivating, providing feedback, and offering my professional insight. Look, I beat anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD, depression, and insomnia. And I've helped hundreds do the same and more. And when you're ready to make the best decision of your life, click the button. And I mean it. This isn't just going to remove anxiety from your life. It's going to improve all of your closest relationships. It's going to improve everything about your life and the lives of those that you touch. So are you ready to do what it takes to get better?